I get goosebumps just saying this right now, and I don't even know why.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bullseye channel. Today I'm going to do a repost of a video that was called What Bullseye Asked Us to Do. I'm going to retitle it Understanding Bullseye Pistol. This is a really fun video about the mental side of bullseye pistol shooting. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get started.
When I say what does Bullseye ask of us, basically I'm taking a big picture view of what this sport asks us to do because I think that this sport is different than others. And just so everybody knows where I'm coming from, when I say bullseye, I am encapsulating every single shooting sport that involves shooting at a circular bull. So that could be air pistol, that could be rapid fire, it could be NRA 2700, CMP service pistol, it could be distinguished revolver, 22 EIC, you name it. If it involves you holding a gun, pointing at a black bull, pulling the trigger, that's bullseye. And so I'm going to start with a story, and I think it sets up the entire argument. I was at Camp Perry, and this was the year that I did safes. So I don't remember exactly what year that was, but the year that I shot in the M9 service course. And part of safes, you go and you have a classroom. You go in and you have a classroom portion, and then you go out and you shoot some instructed shooting, and then you have your special M9 EIC match. And I was in the Marine Corps at the time, but I was just kind of like incognito doing my own thing. And next to me was one of the active team shooters, and he was instructing some other people, and he said something that confused me at the moment but has stuck with me for years and years and years. And what he said was, he said this, referring to bullseye, is the anti-sport. And I didn't quite know how to take that. And then he was explaining it a little bit further, and he says, like, this is a sport that asks you to do as little as possible. And for whatever reason, that phrase stuck with me to this day. When I explain bullseye to other people, I explain it as an anti-sport. It's still a sport, but referring it to an anti-sport, I think, helps explain it to other people, because when people think of contemporary sports like basketball and football and things like that, they think of big, large movements and a lot of muscular use. And in a way, this is the total reversal of that. And that's one of the things that makes bullseye special. So let's break down, what does bullseye ask us to do in one simple sentence. Bullseye requires participants to exercise extreme levels of accuracy consistently over long periods of time. I'll say that one more time. Bullseye requires participants to exercise extreme levels of accuracy consistently over long periods of time. So it's worth breaking down for a moment what that really means. And I think that we don't give that ask, right, enough credit. Human beings are capable of such amazing feats. But bullseye is a little bit different, because I think humans are very capable of applying extreme accuracy, but in short spurts. I think that human beings are able to do things consistently, but doing all of those two things, working with consistency and high levels of accuracy over really long periods of time. So what we're saying is maybe events going over the course of days, or maybe a 2700 that is the all afternoon. You know, Jim Henderson talked about this in his interview, where, I mean, the sport is requiring you to be at max 1A levels of focus and attention. And we're just not used to doing that, I don't think. That doesn't come natural to us. And we'll get deeper into that in a minute. So that's the first thing that you would want to know about what bullseye asked us to do. It asks us to do something that is intrinsically sort of unnatural and can be differentiated from other sports. If we even think of other, like, precision sports, so the first one that comes to mind for me is like golf. Golf has a lot of similarities, I would say, with, especially with the mental aspect and repetition. It has a lot of similarities with bullseye, because in a sense it's working for accuracy. But I think, I spent a little bit of my time in my life as a golfer. My father was an amazing golfer, and but even the accuracy that golf is asking us to do is nowhere near what bullseye asks us to do. I mean, take something like air pistol. I mean, if you have a 4% deviation from your target, I think this is the statistic, if you have a 4% deviation from your target, you're off the paper. And certainly you're off the bull. And we're not trying to hit the bull, we're trying to hit the inner 10 or the X ring. So now that we've established what bullseye asks us to do and how that's different from other sports, and we've sort of solidified that in reality, the thing that I heard on the line at Camp Perry a few years ago, that this is an anti-sport, is absolutely true. Let's talk more about something. We're going to dig deep into Bullseye. Let's imagine, and I'm sure you have, and I know I have, what it would take for a human being to shoot a perfect 2700. I'm talking 2700-270X. What would that take? What level of extreme accuracy would that have to happen? Some people have come close. I mean, so Herschel Anderson, owns the record. Jim Henderson owns the P100 record. I have to believe, as an optimist, I have to believe that it's possible. But it hasn't been done yet. Maybe one of the reasons that it hasn't been done, and one of the reasons that it's so difficult, is because it's asking us to be something we are not. Given the state of technology and ammunition and mechanics and computers, we could devise a machine that could shoot a 2700 270X. But that would take a lot of the fun out of it, right? That would make it something different. The thing that I want to get across, and I get goosebumps just saying this right now, and I don't even know why, but the thing I want to get across is that Bullseye asks us to be something we are not. It asks us to simulate and mimic that of a highly complex machine. It asks us in a way to be a thoughtless robot. And a lot of the mantra that we create around Bullseye sort of has that, feeling. It says, clear your mind, just act. There's a lot of Yoda-isms out there. There's a lot of, big Zen-like talk around the Bullseye community that has to do with forgetting your mindfulness. But the thing that's amazing, and the thing that I love about Bullseye, and this will feed into our Monday motivation and the question for the week, the thing that I love is that I can't be a robot. There are just some things I can't do. I can't grow wings and fly, right? And I can't be a robot. No matter if I could act like one, but I wouldn't be able to. And so when I step to the line, there's this sort of, I don't even know what you would say, in a lot of books that we talked about, the Bullseye book, we talked about The Inner Life of Tennis. A lot of these books wrestle with this idea of two selves, right? Even the Art of Archery talks about two selves and releasing the self and all that stuff. But whenever you step to the line and you attempt to do Bullseye, it's almost transcendental in a way, because you are detaching your mind from your body to an extent, and you are trying to direct the self to do something automatically. And there's just so much in that. There's so much benefit to you as a person, or me as a person, to an athlete, particularly considering that you don't have to have a whole lot of physical attributes to do this sport, that is just really, really inspiring about Bullseye. It's asking us to do something that we can't. Is bicameral, is that the word I'm looking for? It splits us into two. And so really quickly with Bullseye, because I'm probably talking right now to a lot of people who have a lot of influence in the Bullseye community. And certainly we've already established that every person is a mentor, some more than others. And so if you're out there and you've mentored shooters, I think we all know that we can pretty much teach an attentive person who listens to shoot the center of a target within a short span of time. We teach them the mechanics of it, we can teach them the techniques, we can go through, as we discussed in one of our other videos, sort of like the first quarter of the master's journey really, really quick. But the great thing about Bullseye is that what it asks of us, it gets us to the inner person super, super fast, and I think a lot faster than other sports. Think about a sport like tennis, right, which involves a lot of repetition, certainly involves a lot of accuracy and physical acumen, but that's a really hard sport. It takes a lot out of a human being. Soccer takes a lot out of a human being, or football for my friends who are not from America. But I want you to think about this idea of what Bullseye asks us to do, because I think it's unique, and I think that it's special. Bullseye asks us to be something that we can never be. And the process of a human being trying to do that involves a whole lot of introspection, a lot of self-discipline, and a lot of self-discovery. And that's why the mental aspect, Jim talked about it, Dave Foreman talked about it when we ended the interview, I talk a lot about it on the channel, this exploration of the mental management side of precision shooting, specifically Bullseye pistol shooting, which is the one I love the most, is really, really special and really, really unique. And it's something that Bullseye asked us to do more so than other sports. So that's today's video. I was kind of in a gloomy mood before I started this video, but just talking about Bullseye just kind of perked me right up and made me a really happy camper. I probably have a smile on my face right now. So I want to encourage you this weekend when you're getting out and you're getting out to shoot bullseye, take a moment, write down in your shooting journal or talk to someone around you about what Bullseye asks you to do. This is a channel devoted to target pistols and target shooting. Thank you so much for being a viewer. I want to say thank you for making this a home for Bullseye pistol shooting. It means a lot to me. Have a wonderful day, hold hard, and shoot straight.
Yeah, he went.
I mean, it hit the target.